is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are LA.
With one crack of the bat, the Angels woke up from their road trip slumber and came back to life with all smiles at the Big A. Jared Weaver pitched a gem and a milestone strikeout. And tonight, Dan Haren toes the slab for the Halos as they look to get on a roll. A's and Angels is next. The Halos kicked off a 7-game homestand last night in grand fashion, a shutout victory over the Oakland Athletics in game 1 of a 4-game set tonight from the beautiful Big A on Albert Pujols bobblehead day. It is game 2 between your Angels and the A's. Hi everybody from inside the Big A. We welcome you back to Angels baseball here on Fox Sports West. I'm Victor Rojas along with my partner Mark Guguza. Last night we saw the offense come to life early. 3 runs in that first inning. Back-to-back singles by Howie Kendrick and Albert Pujols. It set the tone for a guy who had been struggling since that 4-hit game last Saturday here against the Kansas City Royals. Albeit the DH, Kendrys Morales, and he finally went big fly.
Boy, Victor, Kendrys looked so comfortable at the plate. We commented about the fact is when he was in the batter's box, he looked like he had that ability to drive the ball, and boy, did he do that in the first inning. A pitch, they tried to go upstairs, 0-2 fastball. Went the other way, left center field, 3-run home run for Kendrys, but he didn't stop there. He had a rocket down the first base line, was thrown out eventually at second. This time around, hits a double to right field. And the only out he made during the course of that game was a bullet to left center field that Coco Crisp made a great play on. So he did everything well as far as swinging the bat. First home run since May 29th of 2010 for Kendrys, but look for him to continue that swing tonight, protecting Albert Pujols.
He'll be facing another right-hander. Last night it was Brandon McCarthy who took the loss against the Angels. Tonight they call up Tyson Ross, a youngster who's had some success, limited success against the Angels, and he'll be opposed by the right-hander Dan Haren, trying to pick up his first victory of the season. We're just about ready for baseball here at the Big A, so sit back, relax. We've got lineups and first pitch when we return. by Jack in the Box. Stop by Jack in the Box where the entire menu is available all day long. By Hyundai. New Hyundai owners are talking about their cars in the booth. And by 76 Gas. We're on the driver's side. Fans still flocking to the Big A on Albert Pujols bobblehead giveaway. Big crowd expected here tonight for Game 2. We'll take a look at the lineup for Bob Melvin and the Oakland A's. Jamal Weeks will lead things off, and he will play second base. Coco Crisp moves over to left field. He will bat second. Josh Reddick is in right field. Yoenis Cespedes is the Cuban defector, who is the cleanup hitter and center fielder, a very special player who's been struggling over the last couple of games. He is in center. Seth Smith will serve as the DH. Kurt Suzuki is doing the catching. Derek Martin at first base. Josh Donaldson gets a start at third base. And Cliff Pennington will bat ninth and play shortstop. Taking on Dan Haren, who comes into this one with an 0-1 mark and a 6.97 ERA.
Yeah, 16-game winner last season. Commanded the fastball so well in the 2011 campaign. Look for him to do so again. Struggle as far as falling behind in the count, becomes more of a predictable fastball count going against him. So look for him to do that, get ahead, and use that split finger fastball to get the punch out.
Let's quickly take a look at the defense behind Dan Haren this evening. Vernon Wells is in left field. Peter Borges in center. Torrey Hunter will play right. In the infield, it's Alberto Callaspo and Eric Ibar guarding the left side. Howie Kendrick and Albert Pujols on the right. And Chris Iannetta back behind the plate.
Boy, Chris Iannetta did a tremendous job defensively last night, catching Jerry Weaver. Doing a great job as far as blocking pitches in the dirt. That's the thing with Dan Haren. When he's ahead of the count, he will expand his zone and utilize that split finger fastball. You have a catcher that can keep it in front, you're more apt to throw that pitch.
6-0 victory for the Angels last night. 11 hits. The A's had 6. The Angels moved their record to 4-6 with that victory. Jamal Weeks looks at a strike. Weeks last night 0 for 4. His average is 196. Has a couple of home runs, couple of runs batted in, and a couple of doubles. Very good speed, switch hitter, former first-round pick. That pitch is just off the plate. And it's 1 ball, 1 strike.
Pretty patient hitter, too, for a youngster. Doesn't chase many pitches out of the strike zone. Generally, he's going to have a good at-bat as far as the amount of pitches thrown to him.
Good Major League family, the brother of Ricky Weeks. This one's chopped on the ground to Howie Kendrick, who plays that third short hop. And there's the first down of the ball game. Up steps Coco Crisp, and we'll kind of look back at Dan Haren, the first start against the Kansas City Royals, as we were told after the game, battling through that dead arm period, kind of at the end of spring training, getting that first start, got knocked around a little bit. The Royals, a very aggressive bunch offensively, so that combination certainly did not work out in Dan's favor. He did not pitch that poorly against Minnesota. Did throw a lot of pitches, 94 pitches through 5 innings.
And the big thing is that when you hear a pitcher talk about that dead arm period where you go through in spring training, it doesn't mean there's discomfort. It means you feel like you're still throwing well, but the velocity and location is not exactly where you want it to have it.
Crisp, little dribbler right back to Haren. Just like that, there are 2 outs.
Boy, huge to be able to keep those 2 guys off the bases if you're Dan Haren and the Angels. Both Weeks and Crisp run so well out in front of that pitch.
So with 2 very quick outs, Josh Reddick, the right fielder, will step to the plate. Former Boston Red Sox last night went 2 for 4. A .237 average with a home run, 1 RBI as he takes that pitch upstairs. Reddick's a guy in right field that threw out Kendrys Morales at second base as Kendrys tried to stretch a single into a double. Good throw, too. Nice tag by Cliff Pennington, the shortstop.
He's a guy that can do just about anything once he gets experience at the major league level. Good arm, runs well, hits for an average, has some pop in the bat also.
Swings through that one, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Good cut fastball. After a fastball at 88 and one at 89, it was that cut fastball in on the hands.
6 left-handed batters in the lineup for the Athletics against Haren. That pitch is down and away. And that obviously is inclusive of the switch hitters. There's Bob Melvin, his first full season. Took over last year, and the team went 47 and 52 under him. Reddick chasing that pitch, fouls it back into the left, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And the one thing with Jerry Weaver and Dan Haren, You know, a lot of managers will try to put as many left-handers as possible, but that kind of plays into their hand. Both of them have good all-speed pitches, whether it's a changeup for Weaver or the split-finger fastball for Dan Haren.
2-2 from Haren. Reddick takes that pitch just a little bit low. And last night, Weaver had that hard breaking pitch down and in to left-handed batters. Jared finishing up with 6 punch-outs last night, picking up the win. 2-0 on the season as Reddick fouls it off. The count remains full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Waiting on deck is the phenom they call Yoenis Cespedes. Had the night off last night. Another 3-2. Reddick lines one toward right field. Torrey Hunter, good jump, not going to get it. One hopper off the fence. Reddick heading to second base, and he is in there with a double. Boy, Torrey did a nice job of playing that carom, and what appeared to be a clear double off the bat. Made it an interesting play at second base.
Well, he did a nice job not only fielding on that one hop off the wall, but put himself in good throwing position. Also, already turning his body to be in a position to make the throw as the ball goes off the wall. That's so important for an outfielder. Accurate throw. Reddick with the head first slide, slides in, just beats the tag.
Reddick with his 3rd double of the year, and it brings up Cespedes for his first at bat of the series. Mentioned he had the day off yesterday. He is the center fielder. 3 home runs this year, 7 runs batted in as he looks at a strike. Signed this past offseason. Incredibly talented player after defecting from Cuba. This one's fouled back a little bit tardy, and it's no balls, 2 strikes.
And the guy that could get all over the fastball, but is against him for any young hitter. Try to expand the strike zone, make him hit curveballs, sliders, or split finger fastballs down in the dirt. Expand the strike zone against him.
There's the 0-2 pitch. That's down in the dirt. Blocked nicely by Ionetta, and Reddick has to remain at second base, so it's 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Well, Cespedes was extremely excited about getting an opportunity to meet Albert Pujols and Kendrys Morales yesterday at the game.
Saw him when I first got to the ballpark here, hanging out with Kendrys, Bartolo Colon. Good guys all. Sharing stories.
There you go.
1-2. Swing and a miss. Down goes Cespedes. The inning comes to an end. Into the bottom of the 1st. The Angels coming up. We have no score. Double, but then strikes out Cespedes to finish the top of the 1st inning. We'll take a look at Mike Scioscia's starting 9 for this evening's ball game. Eric Ibar's been slumping of late. He's leading off and playing shortstop. Howie Kendrick is at second base. Albert Pujols at first. Kendrys Morales with that 3-hit game last night is the cleanup hitter at DH. Torrey Hunter back in right field. Vernon Wells is at left. Alberto Callaspo is struggling to start this season, just a 105 average. He will bat 7th and play third base. Chris Iannetta doing the catching, and Peter Borges batting 9th and playing center field. Taking on the big, tall right-hander, 6'6" out of Oakland, California himself, Tyson Ross.
Tyson Ross, a very good fastball with good sinking action. 89 to 93 range on that pitch, slider and a changeup. Threw the ball very well against the Angels last year, 7 shutout innings against them.
4 games in his career against the Halos, 1 start, 0-1 record at 2.45 ERA, 9 strikeouts and 2 walks. Recalled before the game today. The 1-0 downstairs, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. He is a big guy that leverages that height, but kind of a short armor, hides the ball fairly well, and it kind of sneaks up on you.
Well, if you think of Tom Seaver, Hall of Famer, the way he was a drop and drive, hit his knee on the dirt, you don't see that out of Tyson Ross. It's all with the arm.
Complete opposite.
Exactly. Doesn't use the lower half of his body all that much, but has a very good arm as far as good movement downstairs.
That's it for a strike. It's 3-1 on Ibar, who is 0 for 5 last night. His batting average at 189. 4 runs batted in, just a 231 on base percentage. Donaldson playing in at third base. Eric takes that pitch for a strike, and it's a full count.
Well, you get a good idea here of the motion for Tyson Ross. Good balance over the pitching rubber, but not a lot of use of the lower part of his body. The stiff front leg landing, but he gets good arm action, keeps the ball down.
Ross will snag this one. Ibar is retired. There's the first down. Let's take a look at the Athletics defensively. It's Crispin left, Cespedes in center field, Reddick in right field. Infield has Donaldson and Pennington on the left side, Weeks and Barton on the right, and the former Cal State Fullerton product, Kurt Suzuki, behind the plate.
Jamal Weeks is a guy with tremendous range at that second base position. He has made some errors in his stint at the major league level, but I think more than likely it's because of the fact of the focus, because he can cover up the middle and, of course, to the glove side very well.
Now he takes a strike, doesn't like the call, backs out at the plate. Kendrick had a 1 for 4 game last night. The batting average of 316. A home run, 3 runs batted in. He's got 3 doubles, 1 triple so far this season. Just off the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Angels as a team hitting .270. They've scored 48 runs through their first 10 games. Swing and a miss. Cut action away from a right-handed batter. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ross, a second-round pick at the University of California, Berkeley. Mentioned he grew up in Oakland. Lays off that breaking pitch, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, not really easy to hit a home run against. Only 1 home run allowed last year in 36 2/3 innings pitched, so you can see why. That slider down and away, sinking fastball down in the zone.
Albert Pujols on deck. No score, just underway. As Howie fouls it off to the right. Another 2-2 on its way. This one dribbled foul on the third base side. Ross had a couple of starts down in the minor leagues. 1 on April the 8th, 1 on April the 12th. He's got a total of 9 innings at the minor league level under his belt. 10 hits allowed, 4 strikeouts and 3 walks.
And that's the big thing for him is walks. It's very difficult to have that same arm slot and repeating your pitches the way he throws.
This one on the left side, not hit very sharply. Donaldson does a nice job charging. And he retires Kendrick for the second out. So 2 outs, nobody on for Albert Pujols.
Number 5, first baseman Albert Pujols.
Albert with a 2 for 4 game last night. Single and a double, a couple of runs scored. He's probably thankful we no longer get to show that bobblehead commercial that he did so well for us. As he looks at strike one.
Yeah, he looked very comfortable doing that.
And why wouldn't he? A's play their infield to pull. For Pujols, pitches down and away. Deep at third is Donaldson. Pennington toward that shortstop hole. You see Weeks closer to the bag at second base. Outfield almost straight up. They say Cespedes in center field can just flat out get it as Albert fouls it back. And it is 1-2. That's where that quote came from, that bull in a china shop out in the outfield. That came from Bob Melvin yesterday before the game.
Well, when you can move Coco Crisp over to left field, that tells you a lot.
The 1-2 pitch. Chopper on the left side. Donaldson has it on 2 bounces. Tyson Ross has himself a 1-2-3 inning. One complete, scoreless here at the Big A. For the Oakland A's right-hander as we start the top of the second with no score. First pitch swinging is Seth Smith. Fouls it off. No balls and a strike. Seth serving as the DH after playing left field last night. Went 1 for 4 with a base hit. Former Colorado Rocky. Hitting .250. A couple of runs batted in. Smith has some pop at his bat as that breaking pitch misses just a little bit low, perhaps a little bit off the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. Smith last year with the Rockies, 15 home runs. This one hit well toward left field. Chasing Vernon Wells back. Vernon still going back. Reaches up, makes the catch. There's out number 1. Not an easy play for a left fielder. A left-handed batter hitting it well and having it slice away from you. There's the first out.
Yeah, good part of the bat, Seth Smith, on that fly ball. It was a fastball that was up, and a good effort, good first step by Vernon Wells to be able to go back, get a good look at where the fence was going to be, felt the warning track and reached up and made a nice play in left field to prevent that leadoff double.
So 1 out, nobody on for Kurt Suzuki. Suzuki had a hit last night, ended up going 1 for 4. Bulk of the catching duties, and perhaps because of all of the games he catches, perhaps starting to catch up a little bit with his offense each of the last 3 seasons. That batting average dipping down, runs batted in dipping down as that pitch is down and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Kurt is, as recently as 2009, drove in 88 runs for the A's.
And then when you think about how many young pitchers he has to deal with each and every year, the different ones coming in, some solid ones, and then they move on. It's very difficult for young pitchers with a lot of pitches out of the strike zone. You have to kind of guide them through to be able to get through to a game at times. So that's taxing, along with the fact you have to be behind the plate.
Aaron falls behind at 2-1. Had a strikeout in the first inning, and 1 hit allowed. This one out toward right center field. Breaking back was Borges, but corrects that angle, tracks it down, 2 away. Derek Barton, the first baseman, coming up. It's an Oakland A's team that's 4-7 to start the year. 3-4 at home, 1-3 out on the road. And of course, as we mentioned a little bit last night, talking about the start of the regular season for Oakland as well as the Seattle Mariners. Difficult in that they had to go to Japan, play a 2-game series, plus all of the clinics, exhibition games, come back home, settle in for about 7-8 days, then crank it back up.
It's a little easier when you have a bunch of guys that are still from your roster from the year before, but the changeover in the roster made it difficult for Bob Melvin.
1 ball, 1 strike on Barton. Oakland has struggled offensively. Just a .198 team batting average, 9 home runs, 28 runs scored for the first 11 games. If I read this correctly, the fewest runs scored through 11 games for an Oakland A's team since 1968. 1-2 pitch. Bart grounds this one over to Howie Kendrick. Dan Herron returns the favor, a 1-2-3 inning. We head to the bottom of the second, scoreless. Things off here for the Halos. Morales, Hunter, and Wells against Tyson Ross, who had himself a 1-2-3 first inning. Kendrys 3 for 4, 4 runs batted in last night. A .265 average, 1 home run. His first 4 runs batted into the season. Take a look at our Hyundai key to the game.
A little foreigner for you tonight, Victor. Double vision with the fact is Kendrys Morales back to comfortable spot there in the bat behind Albert Pujols. That 3-4 combination, 5 for 8 last night. Hopefully that's what they've been looking for and continue to get those swings together.
0-1 pitch is down and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. I'm still experiencing a little double vision myself with the new specs.
Yes, you are. They look good on you, though.
You got to break yourself in. When are you going to bust yours out? Soon?
Soon.
Pitches down and gets away from Kurt Suzuki, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike.
Well, Kendrys has a home run in his career, 1 for 3 against Tyson Ross, but that hit was a home run.
2-1 pitch. Fouled back. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ross was selected out of Cal in 2008, made his major league debut in 2010. Mostly in relief. 26 games for Ross in 2010 at 2 starts. 9 games last year, 6 starts with the big club. This one fouled off to the left. The count remains at 2 balls, 2 strikes.
When you look at the swing from the left side for Kenny Morales, he just a lot of momentum going forward. Toe tap, gets himself in a position to load the hands up and through the swing.
Work the count full. Torre on deck. Here comes the 3-2. Kendrys rolls over this one. Jamal Weeks is there. There's the first out to start the second inning. Take a look at the umpires for tonight. The men in black as Brian Runge is calling the balls and strikes tonight. Marvin Hudson over at first base. Crew chief Tim McClellan at second base. And Mike Tyson's former sparring partner Ted Barrett standing at third.
That's why it's never a good decision to have an argument with him ever. You say you were right. Even if the pitch was out of the strike zone.
He had an incredible game last night behind the plate.
Yeah, he did. Fantastic.
Excruciatingly handsome man, too. No balls at the strike.
Don't worry, he doesn't spar anymore. Don't worry about it.
Did I mention what a great guy Ted Barrett is?
Unbelievable.
Torre last night 2 for 4, had a double. The average of 278. 3 runs batted in. He's got 3 doubles on the year. Good piece of hitting 2 last night as he shoots this one to the right side. Weeks can't get it. There's a 1-out base hit. That's kind of what I was saying about the double last night, taking it out the alley and right center.
Boy, just watching him in batting practice today behind the cage. Every ball he hit was a rocket up the middle to right center field. Again, not thinking in terms of trying to hit the ball out of the ballpark, swinging too hard. Just shorten up his swing, staying with the pitch, kept his head still, bat level through, and traveled deep enough in the strike zone to be able to hit that ball by Weeks at second base.
So Torre's on board with 1 out. Vernon Wells at the plate. Vernon had a hit last night, finishing up 1 for 3. One of the outs he made was a line out to left field, swinging the bat well, although the average doesn't show it. But through that New York series and into last night, had some good at bats.
Well, same thing you look for Torrey Hunter, just used the whole field.
Just off the plate, 2 balls and no strikes. And Ross, even though he doesn't have a big motion or big leg kick, he's not the quickest guy to the plate. Takes a little while to get that arm loaded up.
Yeah, allowed a couple stolen bases in 2 attempts last year.
Two-0 pitch downstairs. 3 balls and no strikes.
Well, Vernon's a guy that Mike Scioscia will give the green light here to. So if he can get a pitch to drive, especially if he throws a 4-seam fastball. That's the thing with Tyson Ross. He will throw a 4-seam fastball. That's the one you see at 94, 95. He grooves it. See some damage here.
Here comes the 3-0. He's swinging and chops it to third. Donaldson feeds Weeks for 1. Relay to first. There is none. 2 down.
Came in with the fastball, just rolled over on it instead of having that approach we saw last night. Threw the baseball, hit it to center field. It was a good pitch to drive, too, for him.
So Alberto Callaspo steps up. 2 outs now. Wells at first base. Callaspo 2 for 19 to start the year. That's a 105 average. Has 1 RBI. From from the left side of the plate, 1 for 15. Donaldson playing in at third base. Wells with a pretty decent lead at first. That one caught the outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. Brian Runge with the delayed call behind the plate.
Well, we're getting used to that for Thursday's game with Tim McClellan. Good umpires just take a little bit of time to call the strike.
They've earned the delay, right?
Yes, they have.
1-1 pitch. Slice foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Mike Scioscia asked before the game today why Mark Trumbo is not in the lineup. When will he get back in the lineup? You know, Scioscia being very honest, just trying to find the right mix of guys. He had Mark working out before batting practice today at third base. Had a great workout, he said. Mark's going to get his opportunities. Alberto getting the start tonight. Sturis had the start last night. Meiser ended up picking up a hit, going 1 for 3.
Well, I talked to Mark for a while today, Trumbo, about how difficult it is for him. But he said, I come to work every day prepared to be in the lineup. When I'm not in there, I'll be prepared when Mike Scioscia asks me to come in later in the game, if it be coming off the bench to try to drive a run in. Saying all the right things right now.
Well, that's all you can do as a second-year player. Your fate really lies in the hands of the guy that's making out the lineup card. And right now, you're learning a new position.
Still keeping a sense of humor. He still wants to know why that ball was in Minnesota was only 415.
I don't think he's hung up on it or anything.
No.
2-2. Ayaspo slow roller to third. Donaldson will retire him. The inning comes to an end. We've played 2 here at the Big A. We have no score. Third inning, 8-9-1 for Oakland. Donaldson, Pennington, and Weeks facing Dan Haren, who had himself a 1-2-3 inning in the second. Josh Donaldson getting the start at third base, a 120 average. Limited appearances this year. Had spent all of last year at AAA Sacramento. 261 with 17 home runs, 70 runs batted in. Yeah, that was in the. He pulls this one foul. It's 0-2. In the Cubs organization, came over to Oakland back in 2008. That was a Chad Godin trade. Listed as a catcher, getting to start at third.
You can see by a couple of those throws from third base, strong arm for him.
0-2 pitch. Ground ball to third base. Alberto Callaspo has it on 2 hops. High throw. Pujols gets the foot back down in the bag. There's out number 1. Albert comes off the bag limping just a little bit.
We had to jump up and get the foot down, and of course with the base runner going down the line, you worry about being stepped on again. Seen a number of those plays already at first base.
I think I had more on the landing by Albert than Donaldson clipping him or anything. Albert's all right. 1 out. There's Cliff Pennington. He's switch hitting shortstop. He'll look at a fastball for a strike.
Well, there's been some plays at first base for the Angels defensively this year already.
1 ball, 1 strike on Pennington. Had a 1-for-4 game last night. He had the opportunity to show off his arm from the shortstop position yesterday. Terrific arm that it is as he went around that breaking pitch, and it is 1-2.
Well, like we said last night, 2 of the best arms in the American League for that shortstop position, Pennington and Eric Ibar.
Aaron not wasting any time, delivers the 1-2. This one's lifted foul and out of play.
Boy, it's so hard if you're a hitter against Dan Herron. You're thinking in terms of, boy, is he going to throw the cut fastball in? Is he going to throw that split finger fastball away? Then he sneaks in an 89-mile-an-hour fastball in the inner half arm, and he's late. See, a lot of times hitters will be all over an 89-mile-an-hour fastball.
Just got a piece of it. And we've seen at times those 1 or 2 hitters throughout a game that they feel have the timing on Dan Herron, especially a left-handed batter, especially a guy who's got some pop in his bat, yanking foul balls down the right field line, and all of a sudden be able to sneak that 2-seamer, freeze him up. We saw it against Mike Moustakas, even though that wasn't one of Dan's sharpest games. Another 1-2. Pennington takes that one down and in. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
That 2-seamer is so effective after you throw that cut fastball like he did right there. Now he has him set up for the 2-seam fastball inside, or can go back outside with a splitter.
Came back inside, and it's a full count. Leadoff man Jemile Weeks is on deck. No score as we play here in the 3rd inning. Swing and a foul tip hung on to by Iannetta. 2 down. Fans on Sunday, the Halos will host Fan Fest right here at the Big A. Fans in attendance will have the chance to meet select Angels, take a photo with the Rally Monkey, listen to music, and conclude the day watching the Halos take on the Orioles at 12:35 start. For more information or to purchase your tickets, visit angels.com/FanFest. FanFest. Is it the real monkey?
Rumor has it.
It's just not you dressed up as a monkey?
Rumor has it.
No balls to strike on Weeks. That's just a horrible visual. Weeks grounded out to second base to start the ball game off. So he's 0 for 1.
Well, it's going to be warm this weekend, so it'll be a great thing to be able to do.
Yeah, there's no question. Oh, 2 count here on Weeks. This one grounded toward the middle. Nice backhanded play by Kendrick. Another 1-2-3 inning for Dan Herron. Let's head to the bottom of the 3rd. Scoreless with the Angels having 8, 9, and 1 coming up. C.J. Wilson having a conversation with him. No scores. We start at the bottom of the third.
That's the thing. Pitchers talking about how you get somebody out. See, C.J. Wilson was motioning that he saw that the lefties are out in front of that split finger fastball.
Iannetta swinging at the first pitch, grounds out to Cliff Pennington. Barton applies the tag, and there's the first out. Angel fans, be sure to log on to FoxSportsWest.com and check out these features. The whole battle of the West with the Angels and the Rangers. Who will win the battle for L.A. as far as the Clippers and the Lakers are concerned? How about the Kings' playoff run? Vancouver Canucks in the first round.
Number 1 seed versus number 8 seed. Kings with a chance to bring out the broom.
FoxSportsWest.com. That's where it's all at. Here's Peter Bourjos with 1 out, nobody on. Looks at ball 1. Peter had a 1-for-3 game last night. Was hit by a pitch. .259 on the year with a home run. 6 runs batted in. He has 1 double. It's 2 balls and no strikes.
With Tyson Ross so far in this game, 7 ground ball outs here with 1 out in the third.
Two and 1.
Well, you would think it's not easy to stay down in the strike zone with that type of delivery. You can see we had a good view from Kurt Suzuki's position and how difficult it would be to be able to stay downstairs with that sinker.
Broken bat chopper to second base. That bat just absolutely shattered. 2 down. Another ground ball out for Ross.
When you hear that terminology for a heavy sinker, like a bowling ball for Tyson Ross when he's thrown in there, you can see that reaction by Peter Bourjos. Looks like a very good hittable fastball, then the bottom drops out.
So now the second time through the order as Ivar steps to the plate. Eric worked a 3-0 count to start off his first plate appearance. Worked it to 3-2 and ended up hitting a chopper that Ross snagged as he looks at strike 1. Last time Eric was on board was a walk in the 7th inning of Sunday night's game. He did have a multi-hit game in the first game of that series against the Yankees, going 2 for 4. One pitch. Fouls this one back. 1-2. No strikeouts, no walks for Ross. He's allowed 1 hit. That was a Torrey Hunter base hit with 1 out in the second.
And like you'll see him try to throw the slider down and in on Eric Ibar here. One of those pitches, though, that's the one he might make a mistake with on his sliders compared to his fastball.
Ibar waves at that one. Suzuki will have to fire down the first. Ross picks up his first strikeout. It's a 1-2-3 inning. 3 complete, still scoreless. Little pitcher's duel going on between Herrin and Ross. Tyson picking up his first strikeout of the game. That was Ibar to finish off the bottom of the third. As Coco Crisp takes a breaking pitch for a strike, and it is 0-1.
And Herrin has faced 11 batters, throwing the first pitch strike 10 of the 11.
Crisp grounds with this one over to Howie Kendrick, who's been busy already today, and there's out number one.
That's what Mike Scioscia was telling us before the game, that it's really the command and getting ahead of hitters for Dan Herrin, the reason why he has struggled the first two games, but certainly not the case so far tonight. Getting ahead and, of course, expanding the strike zone.
6 ground ball outs for Herrin, 4 of which have gone to Howie. And up steps Josh Reddick, the lone base runner in this game. He had a double in the first inning that came with 2 outs, and he was stranded at second base. Reddick coming over as part of the Andrew Bailey trade. The wheels on that Red Sox bus seems to be coming off as the season has just begun, but Bailey having to have surgery. The whole Bobby Valentine, Kevin Youkilis flap. Reddick slaps one to left field. That's a base hit. Burn it over to cut it off. Reddick will stay at first. 1 out knock, his second hit of the game. And then tonight, of course, the Red Sox just got absolutely thumped by the Texas Rangers, 18-3.
That's the thing, the issue with the Red Sox. Not only you question their depth in their starting rotation, but it's their bullpen now, with Bailey not being involved as closing games for them. There's a lot of pressure on the rest of the guys that move into different roles for Bobby Valentine's bullpen.
Cespedes takes a breaking ball for a strike. He was a strikeout victim ending the first inning, so he's 0 for 1. Oh, 1 pitch, swing and a miss on the breaking ball, and that's the pitch that Cespedes is very susceptible to.
We got to try that again. Don't even try the fastball unless you try to go up above the letters. But he's super quick on the fastball. I'd expand and try to throw another breaking pitch or a split finger in the dirt.
Grounds this one towards short. Should be 2. And it is. The inning comes to an end as we head to the bottom of the 4th. The Halos with 2, 3, and 4 coming up and no score. Look at our AT&T trivia question for tonight. The Weaver brothers, each with 1,000 or more strikeouts in their career. Which 2 brother duos combined for 5,000 plus?
It's a lot of punch outs.
Howie Kendrick Albert Pujols, Kendry Morales in the fourth against Tyson Ross with no score. Howie will look at a fastball for a strike. Kendrick grounded out to Donaldson at third base. He's 0 for 1. One ball, one strike. Ross with one strikeout, no walks, one hit allowed.
Well, both these pitchers don't waste a lot of time in between pitches, which is good for your defense, and they've utilized the defense for a lot of ground ball outs on both sides.
Yeah. Now he fouls it back. That last pitch coming in at 93, and it's 1-2.
As a hitter, your approach is going to try to bring the fastball up. If it starts at the knees, you try to lay off that pitch, but it's difficult to do so.
Suzuki setting up inside. The 1-2 is shot to right field. Coming on is Reddick. He makes the nice running grab, and there's out number 1. Reddick shading Howie that way.
Well, a good approach by Howie. Hit the ball well. Reddick right there to make the play.
Especially for mislocation, trying to come inside and a little bit too much of the play, but it's an out. And Albert Pujols will step up in his first plate appearance against Ross in his career in the first inning, and he grounded out to Donaldson as well. Takes that one inside. Many tonight in the stands and watching at home, thinking tonight would be a perfect night for him to hit his first one with the bobblehead being given away. Rounds this one right back off of Ross. Trickles towards second base. Weeks can't get rid of the baseball, and Albert will reach. It is an infield base hit for Pujols, second of the night for the Halos.
It's one of those plays as a pitcher, you feel you're in perfect position to field the ball off the end of the bat. Try to make the play, then hits off your glove, so you have different spin, and your Weeks coming in on the baseball. Try to be quick and get the transfer of the glove to the throwing hand. There's still some spin on the baseball, and unable to make the play.
So Kendry steps in with a man on, 1 out. Albert down with a 7-game hitting streak. Morales looks at a strike. Kendry's grounded out to lead off the second inning, so he's 0 for 1.
This is a pretty good matchup for Morales, who's Ross, a low ball pitcher down in the zone. He's going to try to go away, but Kendry has very good power, as we saw last night, to left center field.
0-1 pitch. This one lifted foul and out of play, slicing down the left field line. 0-2 count. Very little breeze here tonight. Actually, a very warm afternoon. Got into the mid-80s. It's cooled off, obviously. 0-2 pitch. A dribbler foul. Kendry started taking ground balls at first base when the season started. Mike Scioscia saying that the only way we play defense right now would be if it were in an emergency situation, but he feels that at some point, once he gets acclimated, he can use him at first base. As this one's pulled into right field, a base hit. Pujols will round second. He's going to try to go to third. Reddick with a very strong throwing arm, and Pujols is gunned down. Very accurate throw by Reddick, second time in as many nights we've seen that arm. And there are 2 down.
Slight hesitation at second base for Albert. But Reddick, not only strong, but very accurate, like you said, Victor. He comes in, charges the ball very well. Good swing once again for Kendry Morales. See him already having that baseball as Albert touches second base. Strong, perfect throw. Albert trying to sell it as if the tag was higher up on the body.
Very accurate throw by Reddick. So 2 outs. Kendry's at first base. No 1 count on Torrey Hunter, who had a base at the right field in the second. But just finishing up the point on Morales, Kendrys took 0 ground balls in spring training. It was strictly about the rehab and swinging the bat. But he will eventually, at times, get some playing time over at first. This one's bounced foul at the third base line. It's an 0-2 count.
Albert wants to play every single game at first base defensively, a 2-time Gold Glover, but that'll be an opportunity for Mike Scioscia to give him that so-called pseudo day off, let him as DH. Then you think of Mark Trumbo or eventually Kendrys Morales maybe getting that start at first base defensively, depending on the pitcher.
The funny thing about that is how Scioscia answered that question before the game today. As Hunter strikes out swinging. We'll talk about that in just a second. 4 complete. We still have no score.
To you by the new wireless receiver from AT&T Uverse. Visit AT&T.com/freeyourtv. Rethink possible. By CarMax. Start the search for your next car at CarMax. CarMax, start here. And by Hawaiian Gardens Casino. Get your game on.
Top of the 5th inning. We have no score. Smith, Suzuki, Barton against Dan Herron. The first one is in for a strike. Seth Smith hit that deep fly ball to left field, slicing away from Vernon Wells. But Vernon did a nice job of tracking it down for the first down. So Smith, the DH, is 0 for 1 as he bounces this one up the line. Pujols will play cleanly, and there is the first down of the inning. Let's go back to our AT&T trivia question, talking about the brothers Weaver and their 1,000 or more strikeouts in their career. Both of them having it. Which 2 brother duos combined for 5,000 or more? Perry's and the Necros.
Knuckleballers, and then, of course, Gaylord had an assortment of pitches.
The knuckleballer, the emery boarder, and the greaseball, allegedly.
Different types of pitches. How about Phil Niekro when he got his 300th win? He didn't throw one knuckleball that game when he was a member of the Yankees against Toronto.
That's right.
That's amazing.
The Joe Niekro thing, he was with the Twins. That was here at the Big A, wasn't it?
I think it was. And
was it Steve Palermo?
Steve Palermo was the umpire. And his look was like, he's standing there looking back. You see, he goes, what? What was that?
But the thing is, if you go back and watch that replay, it was almost as if they had exhausted the search. And then for whatever reason, I guess guilt crept in, and Niekro felt like he had to get rid of the evidence, and the board went flying.
But it was just there to keep the nails good for the knuckleball.
Then why get rid of it? Guilty. 1-2 count. Kurt Suzuki. Oh, memories. 1-2. Bounce foul. Suzuki had a fly ball to center field in the second, so he's 0 for 1. I used to love the old timers games where Gaylord would show up with the jersey
with that million different teams on there.
Logos all over the place. And it was an extra large jersey.
He was in Kansas City when I first came on my first big league camp.
That is pulled foul.
And I'll never forget that. We were doing sprints the first day of spring. And I'm going as fast as I can, and Gaylord Perry just waved me to say, "Hey, son, what are you doing?" I'm saying, "Oh, I'm just trying to, get my work in." He goes, "Don't embarrass me. Walk." I said, "All right, whatever it takes."
And that kind of set the tone.
Yes, it did.
Wow.
It did. I figured my dad was a mailman. I should be able to be a good walker.
1-2 count on Suzuki. That's inside, 2-2. Aaron with 2 strikeouts, no walks, 2 hits allowed. Josh Reddick, the owner of those hits, the double, the base hit. The 2-2. Ground ball to Howie Kendrick. 2 down. Fans, on Thursday, the Halos take on the Oakland A's. That's the 4th game of this 4-game set. It's a 7:05 start. The Angels will be honoring Eric Ivar for winning his first Rawlings Gold Glove Award. Fans in attendance will receive a Gold Glove shirt courtesy of Smile Generation while supplies last. Purchase your tickets today at the Angel Stadium ticket office or by logging on to angels.com.
Can't wait. Looking forward to that night.
Derek Barton looks at the strike.
60 pitches thrown so far from Dan Haren, 46 in the strike zone.
That is hit well and deep to right field toward the corner, and the Oakland A's have a 1-0 lead. Derek Barton with his first of the season.
And that's the dangers of going inside on a left-handed batter if you're a right-handed pitcher. A lot of times hitters will set you up, just look for a certain part of the plate. There's that 2-seam fastball that ran a little bit too much of the plate. Quick through the swing for Barton. He hits his first home run of the season.
So Oakland strikes first with 2 outs here in the 5th inning. And Josh Donaldson gives this one a ride toward deep left center field. Peter Bourjos at the wall, leaps up, makes the catch. The inning comes to an end. But Oakland gets on the board. A home run by Barton makes it 1-0 A's. Run here at the bottom of the 5th inning. I want to remind you that this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form in the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Angels Baseball LP. Wells, Callaspo, and Iannetta here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Dan Haren giving up the solo home run with 2 outs in the 5th inning. The only scoring in this game thus far. Tyson Ross with a couple of strikeouts, 3 hits allowed. Both teams with 3 hits. The Halos had back-to-back hits with 1 out in the 4th inning, but Albert Pujols was thrown out trying to go to third base. Josh Reddick with a very strong and accurate throw. Vernon reached on a fielder's choice in the 2nd inning. He's 0 for 1. Looks at a fastball for a strike. Both guys have been very economical, both starting pitchers. Ross has just thrown his 58th pitch. Here's the 59th, and that is sharply hit into center field, and it's a base hit. Leadoff man is on board for the Angels for the first time tonight.
We out there a fastball to a slider that hung out over the plate. Vernon, that's the kind of approach we've been talking about being consistent with, going right back up the middle. Well, good job as far as balance for his lower part of his body and hands through that swing.
Vernon probably wishes he had that 3-0 offering in the 2nd inning back. But he is on board. Callaspo at the plate. Callaspo grounded out weakly to third base to end the 2nd. He's 0 for 1. Donaldson creeping in at third base. Alberto pulling off the baseball. Loops one foul and out of play on the third base side.
Yeah, when you see when Callaspo is struggling, he gets more of an uppercut swing, but when he's swinging the bat well, it's a level swing through that pitch. He's got to keep his hands back a little bit longer and drive the ball to left center field.
Oh, 1 pitch. A little bit high. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I wonder if Mike Scioscia might put on a hit and run, trusting that Callaspo can put the ball on the ground.
Quick throw to first. Wells is back. Chris Iannetta on deck. The 1-1 pitch lays off, and it's 2 balls and a strike. Seen a couple of different variations of the fastball from Tyson Ross. Not afraid to add, subtract a little bit.
That's the thing we often said. Fastball is the best pitch in baseball for a pitcher because you can do so many things. Change speeds, make it sink. Throw a 4-seam fastball up in the strike zone. You can cut the fastball. So many different things you can do if you can command the strike zone with it.
Alberto fared well against the Oakland A's last year, hitting them to a .311 clip. The 2-1 pitch. Vernon goes. This one looped to the left field. The hit and run works as well. Stops at second base. The first 2 guys have reached here in the 5th inning, and here comes Chris Iannetta.
And a lot of times when you're struggling as a hitter, when you put the hit and run, you shorten up your swing. You're just thinking about making contact. And that's what Alberto Callaspo was able to do. Vernon going on the pitch, didn't try to do a lot with it, it stayed back. Short, compact swing, base hit in the left field.
Derek Barton coming in. Getting ready to say something to Tyson Ross. Everyone checking out Josh Donaldson, the third baseman, putting on the defensive signals.
Yeah, there's about 2 or 3 different plays you'll see at the major league level. Well, whether it's the third baseman crashing in with the first baseman, sometimes you'll put a pickoff just to be able to keep the man at second a little bit closer. But I've always felt as a pitcher, cover the third base line, tell your third baseman to stay back. That's your better chance to be able to get a force play at third base.
You also have a young man making his first major league start of the season. Little refresher, reminder from both Pennington and Barton. Iannetta not bunting, takes the breaking pitch for a strike. Chris 0 for 1. He saw one pitch in the third inning as the leadoff man and grounded out to Pennington at short. Vernon Wells with a leadoff base hit. Alberto Callaspo following that up with a base hit. Halo's trying to answer back. Derek Barton pick up his first home run. That came with 2 outs in the top of this inning. Reddick shallow in right. Cespedes shallow in center field. Chris straight up in left. 0-1 pitch. Inetta fouls it off to the right. And it's no balls, 2 strikes. Weeks trying to keep Wells close to the bag at second. The 0-2. Little chopper to the left side. Pennington has it cut off by Donaldson. The throw goes to first. Iannetta is thrown out. It essentially works as a sacrifice there as Wells advances to third and Callaspo to second base.
He's done a nice job of making contact there, especially behind in the count. Get the job done. Peter Bourjos. They might bring the infield in. Well, initially they were thinking about doing that. They got the corner infielders in.
So Bourjos at the plate, second and third. 1 out. Halo's down 1-0. Peter ground out to Weeks in the third inning. Swinging at that first pitch slider, and it's 0-1. Nice play by Bourjos in center field to end the top of the 5th inning. Donaldson gave it a ride. Not sure if it was going to go out, but a nice effort by Bourjos to make sure that it didn't.
Timed it very well on his leap.
With an RBI opportunity here, Bourjos has 6 runs batted in on the year. He's got Wells standing at third and Callaspo at second. Bouncer foul. And it's no balls, 2 strikes. Let's go back to that catch off the bat of Donaldson.
See, he'd look back where the wall was, leaps up, and makes a very good play. I think that ball had a chance to get out.
Yeah, you're right.
Now, if you're Peter Bourjos, you're trying to hit the ball to the middle part of the field. Even if it's on the ground, it's going to produce a run. And the odd thing that both corner infielders have taken a couple steps back after Peter Bourjos is behind in the count.
0-2, ground ball toward short. That should score a run. Pennington has to hurry. Bourjos is thrown out, but he picks up the RBI. This game is tied at 1.
Nice job there by Peter Bourjos. Like we were saying, just hit the ball to the middle part of the field. It will produce a run. Angels baseball right there. A base hit, a hit and run to get first and second, get them over. Then a ground ball to the middle part of the field produces the run. Not easy to be able to get a ball in the air against Tyson Ross because he stays down in the strike zone so well. So you have to try to manufacture a run.
Here's Ibar with a man at third and 2 outs. And this is about as shallow an outfield, especially in left and center, as I've ever seen against Erick Aybar. Takes the off-speed pitch down low. Eric tonight 0 for 2. Bouncer back to the mound and a strikeout. He was completely fooled on a breaking pitch in the third.
Well, you would think then if you're Erick Aybar, he's going to try to throw sinkers down and away the way the defense in the outfield is set up.
Eric 0 for his last 13 since that 4th inning single in Saturday's game in New York. The 1-0 outside. 2 balls and no strikes.
Well, a good hitters count now for Erick Aybar.
Two-0. Just pulled off of it. 2 balls, 1 strike. Callaspo standing at third base. A tie ball game with 2 outs here in the 5th. Eric pulls out one foul, pitch down and in. We didn't see much of that in spring training when he was locked in. But that is the one area where he becomes susceptible. And heartbreaking pitch down and in. Starts opening and widening that strike zone.
And you would think that Ross is going to throw that exact same pitch. And now if you're Alberto Callaspo, you got to think in terms of getting a good secondary lead in case this pitch is thrown in the dirt.
A 2-ball, 2-strike pitch, and then he got him swinging. High ball. Punches out. But the Angels tie things up. We're through 5, and it's knotted up in 1.
Brought to you by the new Southwest Patty Melt from Carl's Jr. With jalapenos, pepper jack cheese, and Santa Fe sauce. It's a spicy twist on a classic burger. By AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. And by Dodge.
Top of the 6th inning, tied at 1, and Dan Herron delivers a strike to Cliff Pennington to start this one. The A's sending up 9-1-2. Pennington, Weeks, and Crisp. 63 pitches thrown by Herron, 2 strikeouts, no walks, 3 hits allowed. Pennington hits this one out towards center field. Borges back a couple of steps. And there's the first down of the inning. So that'll bring up Jemile Weeks.
Not be surprised to see Weeks try a bunt attempt here. First pitch.
Weeks twice has grounded out to Howie Kendrick, so he's 0 for 2. First pitch, a breaking ball down low. It's 1 ball, no strikes.
It's the 3rd batter this game, but Dan Herron has thrown the first pitch out of the strike zone. Faced 19 batters, 16 first pitch strikes.
Two balls, no strikes. Oakland with a run, 3 hits, 1 man left on base. The Angels with 1 run, 5 hits, 3 left on. Here's the 2-0. It's in there, 2-1. The struggles for Eric Ibar continue. Striking out the 5th inning, 2nd time he's gone down swinging today. That one is a strike on the outside corner, 2-2. A couple of right-handers going tomorrow night. Irvin Santana for the Halos. The former Angel Bartolo Colon will go for Oakland. 2-2 pitch. Just off the plate, full count.
Boy, Bartolo Colon has reinvented himself. He will throw a lot more 2-seam fastballs, more changeups, more sliders. He won the Cy Young with the Angels. A lot of four-seam fastballs.
3-2 grounded toward the middle. Eyeball has it from behind the bag, and Weeks is thrown out for the second out. This is the second full count that Dan Haren has faced in this ball game. He retires Weeks, and up steps the man they call Coco Crisp. Real name Covelli. Coco's 0 for 2. Bouncer back to the mound. A ground ball to second. He's 0 for his last 15. Breaking pitch in for a strike. Coco signing a 2-year deal in the offseason with Oakland with an team option for the third. Grounded toward the middle. Kendrick with the backhand low throw. Albert has it at 1-2-3 inning. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning with this game still tied at 1. And 4 due up here in the bottom of the 6th inning, tied at 1. Tyson Ross has 3 strikeouts, no walks, 5 hits allowed. Howie Kendrick is 0 for 2 with a ground ball to third and a fly ball to right field. Breaking pitch is a strike. Tyson Ross making his first major league start this season. 75 pitches so far. This one sharply hit toward second base, just off the first base side of the mound. Weeks will throw out Howie. And there is the first down. And that'll bring up Albert Pujols. Now we got to say congratulations to Jamie Moyer, former teammate of yours at Little League Ball back in Philly. Became the oldest pitcher in Major League Baseball history to record a victory
At age 49.
49 and 150 days. When's your comeback? Dude, I dare you.
No.
Seriously.
Like I said, if they can move the mound up to 40 feet, I have a chance.
Pujols takes a strike, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Colorado beats San Diego 5-3. So congratulations to Jamie Moyer. Would you hang him up then at that point?
Just get that 1 win to beat him.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sayonara.
Yes.
There's the 1-1. Albert hits one on the ground to Donaldson at third base across the diamond, 2 down. Let's go back to our Hyundai key to the game.
Well, it worked in the 4th inning with Albert Pujols and Kendrys Morales. Double vision, both swinging the bat well last night. A couple hits last at bat, hit well by Albert, as Howie Kendrick hit a ball well to Weeks. Again, another ground ball by Tyson Ross.
Kendrys is 1 for 2. Ground ball to second and a base hit. That came in the fourth. 1 ball, no strikes.
Well, right now, if you're Kendrys Morales, you're looking for a pitch. He's a good low ball hitter hitting from the left side. You want a pitch where you can hit, at the very least, in the alley. You want double at least.
Lays off, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. You mentioned how long do they go with Tyson Ross? It really has not been one of those taxing starts for him whatsoever. 81 pitches right now, but had only gone 4 innings in 1 start, 5 innings in another at AAA. That's downstairs. 3 balls and no strikes.
He's one of those guys for Oakland. They're caught in between. Do they want him to be a starter? He can be very effective getting ground ball outs out of the bullpen, but some choices for Bob Melvin as far as what they want to do with Tyson Ross. But we've seen him a couple times and very, very consistent against the Angels.
Swinging 3-0, and Kendrys picks up his second hit of the ball game. A 2-out knock keeps the inning alive for Torii Hunter. In those 2 starts, as we were talking about Tyson in the minor leagues, not a whole lot of pitches thrown for him. 70 in the first start, 76 in the second, but big, strong guy. Figure they're trying to get through the 6th inning, maybe into the 7th.
A lot of times sinker ball pitches are even more effective the more pitches you throw. If you feel tired, you don't overthrow the baseball, you have better movement on the pitch.
Fastball down and away, 1 ball, no strikes on Torii Hunter, who's 1 for 2. Base hit in the 2nd inning. A strikeout victim in the 4th.
Kind of surprised they're holding Kendrys Morales on at first base. This little hole there between Weeks and Barton there. And we get a base hit through that hole.
Torii fouls it off to the right. Count even at 1-1. The American League, it's this game and the game up in Seattle. Mariners leading Cleveland 8-1, the only games that are still ongoing in the American League. National League has 2 games, Arizona hosting Pittsburgh and San Francisco hosting Philadelphia. 1-1 pitch. That's a strike. It's 1-2. Not a very big lead for Morales at first base. A quick check in over there. The courtesy toss. Oakland with a run at the top of the 5th inning. The Angels got that run back in the bottom of the 5th. Peter Borges with an RBI ground out. The 1-2 in the dirt, and it gets away from Suzuki. Morales will advance to second. He'll stop there on the wild pitch.
To really snap the slider off. Suzuki shifts the body but not keep the glove low enough to be able to prevent that baseball from getting by him.
Go ahead run in scoring position with 2 outs. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Torii. Vernon Wells on deck to get that farm. Pitch, he just got a piece of it, keeps his at bat alive, so the count remains at 2-2.
Pretty good arms in the outfield. We've seen that from Reddick, certainly in right field for Oakland. And Ian Eagle said he will not be hesitant as far as sending Kendrys Morales home if there's a base hit into the outfield. As long as it's not hit that way.
I was going to say, even to Reddick?
No.
Perhaps if Reddick
he's
hits
got to go a long way
and falls, then you might be inclined to send Kendrys.
Being optimistic there.
Reddick has thrown 2 bullets in the first 2 games. It Morales yesterday at second base, trying to stretch a single into a double, and he got Pujols trying to go first to third on a base hit. Kendry's trying to take the biggest lead possible from second base. Another 2-2, and this one's bounced toward the hole. That is a base hit into left field. Morales being waved around, and the Angels are going to be on top 2-1.
Well, just like we said, you got a good secondary lead, a smile on the face for Kendrys Morales, scores the go-ahead run on that base hit in the hole between short and third. Two-seam fastball got too much to the plate, no hesitation whatsoever, challenging Coco Crisp in left field.
Suspect arm in left with Coco out there. Kendrys, as we were pointing out before the pitch, taking as big a lead as possible from second base. Nice effort on the part of Pennington, who almost came up with it. Second hit of the game for Torre. He's at first with 2 outs. Vernon at the plate. The 1-for-2 game for Wells. He had a single with a run scored in the 5th.
These are the times when Torrey Hunter will try to steal second base if he feels the pitcher's not paying attention to him, but clearly Tyson Ross is.
Former Angel Brian Fuentes begins to loosen the bullpen. First pitch is down low. 1 ball, no strikes. RBI for Torrey, his 4th of the year. Back-to-back multi-hit games. The 1-0. This is hit out toward deep left center field. Going back is Cespedes, and Coco Crisp. Cespedes calls off. The left fielder makes the catch. The inning comes to an end, but the Halos take their first lead of the night through 6. 2-1 Angels. Second hit of the ball game, a big one, an RBI single that scores Kendrys Morales. Glad you could join us here at the Big A and inside our broadcast booth. Victor Rojas along with Mark Gubicza, and Dan Herron's done a nice job. Tyson Ross for the Oakland A's have done a nice job.
Well, Dan Herron getting ahead of the count often and be able to use the fastball inside, but a split finger fastball and slow curveball have been very effective for him.
Herron, longest outing of the year so far. Just his 3rd of the season. Rennick, Cespedes, and Smith. First pitch or second pitch swinging is Rennick, and Skies went out to shallow left. And there is out number 1. First time Rennick has been retired tonight. He had a double and a single against Aaron in his first 2 ABs. Here's the center fielder, Cespedes, who's 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a double play ball. Double play ending the 4th inning. Swinging first pitch breaking ball comes up empty, and it's no balls and 1 strike. The 11th Cuban-born player to wear an Oakland A's uniform. That pitch is outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ariel Preto, former big league pitcher, serving as his translator. Swing and a miss. It is 1-2.
Well, he might as well go right back with that same pitch. A little further off the outside corner.
That'll leave it a count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Line to left field, a base hit. A 1-out base hit for the A's center fielder. That'll bring up Seth Smith. Fans, on Saturday, the Halos will be hosting the Baltimore Orioles. Remember, that's a 6:05 start on Saturday. Fans in attendance will receive an Angels hat courtesy of Smartin Final while supplies last. To purchase your tickets, visit the Angels Stadium ticket office or log on to angels.com. The single by Cespedes, the 4th for the A's, 4th hit for the A's. That fastball is a strike on the outside corner to Smith, who's 0 for 2 with a fly ball to left and a ground ball to first.
Cespedes did a nice job as far as keeping his hands back through the strike zone because the hip opened up, but he kept his hands back long enough to be able to hit that ball into left field.
Caught the corner. It is 0-2.
Wait, Brian Runge's done a nice job behind the plate. If you're hitting your spots, he's calling strikes.
Very deliberate. Tracking the baseball the whole way. Almost as good a job as Ted Barrett did last night. Cespedes takes off and Smith fouls it back.
Pretty hard to beat that effort, though, by Ted last night.
Cespedes has to head back to first. Maybe we should send Ted a fruit basket tomorrow.
Good idea.
Keep him in our good graces. Or his good graces, I should say. 0-2. Line to center field. Is it going to hang up for Borges? Comes charging in, makes the catch, 2 outs.
Well, we ask any center fielder the most difficult play is the baseball hit right at you. I don't know if you go in, you got to read the baseball off the bat. Hit well by Smith. A couple good at bats for Seth Smith against Dan Herron, but nothing to show for. Good play by Peter Borges.
Scott Downs begins to play catch. Scott got into the game yesterday, went 1 inning, allowed 1 hit. Herron at 83 pitches. Kurt Suzuki, the batter. Cespedes still standing at first base, and it's ball 1. Suzuki 0 for 2. Fly ball to center and a ground ball to second. Cespedes with a pretty good lead at first base. Has 1 stolen base. And now Herron stepping off.
A nice job by Dan. A lot of times you see after he holds the baseball like that whole quick pitch.
Terrific speed for that young man standing at first. Quick throw over there. A lot of the comparisons back as far as the returns from spring training, and even after watching some of his workouts, some of the Winter League games that Cespedes had in the Dominican Republic, Bo Jackson's name keeps coming up as far as stature, the build. Bo had a lot of talent. Cespedes takes off, and Suzuki drops a bunt towards third base, and it's an infield base hit. A 2-out base hit puts the tying run in scoring position.
It's kind of an odd play, but Suzuki saw that Callaspo playing back at third base. Drag bunt, but Cespedes had that base stolen easily. Mike Scioscia may go to the lefty here.
Yep. Looks that way. Dan Haren at 85 pitches. Mike Scioscia is going to the bullpen with the left hand hitting Derek Barton coming up. 2 men on for Oakland with 2 outs, and the Angels with a 2-1 lead.
Baseball is brought to you by El Pollo Loco. Taste the fresh flavor of the new Roja Wet Burrito from El Pollo Loco today. And by Southern California Toyota. Check out the full line of fuel-efficient vehicles at your Southern California Toyota dealer.
2 outs here at the top of the 7th. The Angels with a 2-1 lead. Dan Haren departs as runners at first and second. Cespedes with terrific speed standing at second base. Suzuki is at first. 6 2/3 innings, 5 hits, including a home run, 2 strikeouts, and no walks. As Scott Downs comes in and are in and out. Who's in? Who's out?
Scott Downs so effective against left-handed batters here. Will show the fastball inside. Very good sweeping slider also.
Scott pitched last night, 1 inning. Gave up a base hit. First offer, Barton looks at his strike, good fastball on the outside corner. Barton 1 for 2, a ground ball to second base in the second, and hit that solo home run with 2 outs in the 5th. But at that point, it put the A's up 1-0. Halos tied it up in the bottom of the 5th. Took the lead in the 6th. Downs trying to keep that lead intact. 0-1, swing and a miss. Big sweeping breaking ball, and it's 0-2.
After a good fastball on the outside corner, throws a big breaking pitch off the outside corner.
Oh, 2. Trying to expand the strike zone even further with that breaking pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
It's definitely worth a shot after that last swing that Barton had on that sweeping breaking ball. Went right back to the same location. And Vernon in left field could be in play here as he tries to go fastball away more than likely.
Vernon playing very shallow in left field. Torrey shallow in right. Fastball. Got him looking on the outside corner. Down goes Barton. The inning comes to an end. 7th inning stretch time at the Big A. 2-1 Angels.
Here in the bottom of the 7th. Nice job by Scott Balance. Nice fastball on the outside corner. Freezes Derek Barton. Be able to get through the inning after a couple big breaking pitches. Paints the outside corner at the knees. What's going in there? High-fiving Dan Herron, who did a tremendous job himself. 6 2/3. Mike Scioscia. Of course, Mike Butcher there too. Discussing pitching. It's all about getting together as a pitching staff. And Dan Herron talked about, you saw even in between innings with Mike Butcher talking about getting ahead of the count, and Dan Herron was fantastic with that today.
There's Mike Butcher talking with Rob Peachlow, the Angels bench coach. Brian Fuentes, the 36-year-old veteran, comes on in place of Tyson Ross. Fuentes in the second year of a 2-year deal with the Oakland A's after going 2-8 last year at a 3.70 ERA in 67 games. Chalked up 12 saves for the Athletics in his first season there.
Fuentes fastball 87 to 90 range. Tries to sink it. Big sweep and break a pitch and a good changeup also.
Brian originally in the Seattle Mariners organization. Facing Alberto Callaspo, spins around to hit from the right side. Bottom third of the order for the Halos. And Alberto looks at a strike. Callaspo 1 for 2, had a base hit in the 5th inning. The hit and run with Wells going on the pitch eventually led to a run that tied the game up. A 1 pitch. This one sliced foul on the first base side, and it's no balls, 2 strikes. Fuentes pitching in his 5th game. No record, a 2.45 ERA. 3 2/3 innings, 2 hits allowed, 3 strikeouts, and 1 walk. Brian hearing some boos as he introduced here. Oh, 2 pitch. Outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Had a 48 save season for the Angels in 2009, but that's not what he's remembered for. Pitched in 39 games for the Halos in 2010, had 23 saves, and then was traded to the Minnesota Twins. Pitched well for them, 9 games he got into. The 1-2. Callaspo loops one in the air towards shallow right center field. Weeks is going out, can't get it. Falls in for a base hit. And the leadoff man is on board. Nice effort by Jemile Weeks.
Boy, Fuentes came back with another changeup to Callaspo. This time the changeup was just up high enough, around thigh high off the outside part of the plate, but he's able to fight it off into the outfield for a base hit.
2 knocks totaling maybe 200 feet for Alberto Callaspo, but you know what? That makes it a 2 for 3 game.
Yes, line drives.
That's in the spot score.
And when you're struggling to get some hits, you'll take those hits.
Those are the ones you want. Usually this gets you back on track to hit line drives. Chris Iannetta, the batter, with nobody out. Swinging through that first pitch, comes up empty. Iannetta 0 for 2. The ground ball to short, the ground ball to third. This one's fouled back and to the right. No balls, 2 strikes.
Well, he's been gearing up for the fastball from Fuentes, and Iannetta's letting that back go. Fouled that one straight back.
A couple of former teammates here, Iannetta, Fuentes with the Colorado Rockies.
Especially when it's a catcher who's caught you before. He's guessing along with you. A lot of times advantage catcher.
The 0-2 in the dirt, smothered by Suzuki. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Borges on deck, then back to the top of the order. Halos with 8 hits so far tonight. Tyson Ross did a nice job. 6 innings, 7 hits, 3 strikeouts, and no walks, allowing the 2 runs, both earned. 1-2 pitch. Iannetta pulls it up the third base line, just foul. Alberto Callaspo with a leadoff single, standing over at first base. The 1-2 again. Iannetta strikes out, swinging. There's out number 1.
Looks like Chris just pulled off on that fastball. Fuentes throwing at 92.
Ryan Cook, the right-hander, is loosening for Oakland. Ready to go. Kevin Jepson continues to loosen for the Angels. Borges fouls off the first pitch from Fuentes, and it's 0-1. Peter was 0 for 2 with a couple of groundouts, but did pick up an RBI, his 7th of the year. It came in the 5th inning. There's Kevin. Oakland in the top of the 8th inning will have 8-9-1. Donaldson, Pennington, and Weeks due up. Borges slicing it down the line, but tailing foul.
Yeah, last at bat for Peter Borges did a nice job as far as hitting that ball to the middle part of the field to produce that run. Also prevented a run going over the wall to bring back a would-be home run. So it's helped the team with the glove. Did a nice job of a productive out.
The 0-2. Borges strikes out, swinging on the off speed. So Fuentes with back-to-back strikeouts. And Callaspo remains at first base. Eric Ibar 0 for 3. Come back to the mound, a couple of strikeouts. Eric this year 1 for 7 from the right side of the plate. Looks at a fastball downstairs. Ibar lines one toward short. Pennington has it. The inning comes to an end. We head to the 8th. The Angels up 2-1. Top of the 8th inning. Angels up by the score of 2-1. New pitcher on for the Halos as Kevin Jepsen takes over on the mound. Trying to keep this a 2-1 game. He'll face Josh Donaldson, Cliff Pennington, and Jamal Weeks, barring any pinch hitters.
Came in last night, third of an inning. And for Kevin Jepsen, trusting the fastball and command with that pitch. Get ahead of the count. Very good swing and miss curveball. Good cut fastball also.
Both teams exchanged runs in the 5th inning. Derek Barton with a home run, his first of the year, made it 1-0 Oakland. Peter Bourjos with an RBI ground out that scored Vernon Wells, tied things up at 1. And then in the 6th inning, the Angels got back-to-back 2-out hits by Morales and Hunter, and of course helped out by the Tyson Ross wild pitch that advanced Morales into scoring position, and Torrey delivered. And that's where we stand right now. Donaldson with very good pop. Hit one out toward deep left center field. Peter Bourjos making a leaping catch at the wall. 0 for 2 today as he got the start at third base. Swinging through that first pitch, comes up empty. And it is 0-1. Final line on Dan Herron, 6 2/3, 5 hits, including that home run. 2 strikeouts and no walks. Very sharp outing for Dan. 1 ball, 1 strike on Donaldson.
And Mike Butcher still trying to refine the mechanics for Kevin Jepsen as far as trying to keep that front shoulder from flying open. More tucked delivery to stay on top.
Falls behind at 2 balls and 1 strike. And it's getting him not to overthrow that pitch. Swing and a miss. It is 2-2.
Well, that's that regular 4-seam fastball pitch before that cut fastball. I don't mind is keeping that front shoulder tucked in long enough to be able to get good balance, hiding the baseball well, driving towards home over the front leg. Good fastball there at 97 for Kevin Jepsen.
6th outing of the season for Kevin Jepsen. Total of 4 innings, 4 hits, 2 strikeouts, and no walks. 2 balls, 2 strikes here on Donaldson. Pennington on deck. The pitch. Fastball. Got him looking down. Goes Donaldson, 1 down.
Well, that fastball at that arm angle for Kevin Jepsen, very effective at 98 miles an hour. Nice job, too, by Chris Iannetta calling that pitch and framing it for him.
Here's Pennington, the shortstop. Strikeout victim in the 3rd, a fly ball to center in the 6th. Callaspo playing it at third base just in case. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Evens the count. Boy, if he can perfect that right there, just taking a little bit off, kind of for him anyway, get it over 95-mile-an-hour fastball.
Well, you can live on that outer part of the plate if it's at the knees with that movement on the outside corner.
Fouled off to the left. 1-2.
Well, we know we've had some discussions with the Hall of Famer Jim Palmer about guys throwing a lot of cut fastballs, pitches inside. If you can live on the outer half and hit your spots, very difficult for hitters to make good contact with that pitch. Just stay out there with the fastball movement. Now you can go a baseball off the outside corner and be just as effective with it.
1-2 pitch. It's in the dirt. Overthrown breaking pitch. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And that's that process of rushing that body, arm dragging a little bit.
Well, you hear it so often from pitching coaches and managers, is trusting your mechanics don't to do anything different when you're throwing your curveballs compared to your fastball.
The 2-2 downstairs, full count. Jamal Weeks, the leadoff man, on deck.
Pennington, a guy with good speed also.
Here's the payoff pitch. Pennington rolls it foul. Reset, do it again. Looks like Ryan Cook will be coming into the game in the bottom of the 8th inning. Brian Fuentes 1 inning. 1 hit, 2 strikeouts. We believe that he would be done. Another 3-2. That is downstairs, and he lost him. 1 out walk and brings up Weeks. Hey, hitting the road, you can take the Angels with you this season. Subscribe to MLB.tv today to see every Angels out-of-market game live online and on your favorite devices in HD quality. Visit Angels.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv, baseball everywhere. Jamal Weeks is 0 for 3. 2 ground outs to second, 1 to short. Terrific speed, tough guy to double up. Walk to Pennington, the very first base on balls of this game. Weeks tired of waiting, backs out at the plate. Jepson falls behind at 1 ball, no strikes. And Ioneta's going to go out there and talk things over.
Where you want to be quick to the plate, but not to the point where you're throwing pitches out of the strike zone. Bottom line, as a pitcher, you hold the ball, throw off the timing of a would-be base stealer.
And you have to be cognizant of Pennington over at first base. 14 stolen bases last year, but 29 the year before. So he's got some speed. He'll pick his spots. Two balls and no strikes. Pennington has 1 stolen base here, but the focus needs to be on Weeks as it's 2-0. Kevin, who struck out Donaldson, struggling with the strike zone here through Pennington, and now Weeks through the first 2 pitches. 2-0, 3 balls and no strikes.
Well, I think the process is different once you have 1 out with a guy who could steal some bases at first base. Yes, you want to vary your times, you want to hold the baseball, but the thought process has to be the batter. No outs, it's a little bit different, but with 1 out already in the inning, focus on the batter.
Three and 1. Coco Crisp is on deck. Then you get to Reddick and Cespedes. Good lead for Pennington over at first. 3-1. Upstairs, and that is back-to-back walks. Weeks thought it was going to be strike 2. Brian Runge does not ring it up. So 2 on with 1 out. Here comes Mike Butcher.
A little bit above the strike zone. Our Fox track says just above zone at 95 miles an hour, though, for Kevin Jepson.
And again, it's falling behind and putting yourself in those situations. Long meeting, so Runge is going to go out there and break up the rock pile. Coco Crisp, the left fielder, will be coming up.
Well, there's a lot of speed on the bases and at the plate here for Oakland. It's a time where you do have to vary your look back to second just to make sure doesn't get a walking lead. Bob Melvin will not hesitate in trying to put a double steal on here.
Lined into center field, a base hit. Pennington's going to be waved around. Here comes the throw from Peter Bourjos. Looks pretty good. It's up the third base line and safe at home. We're tied up at 2. And a heads-up play by Coco Crisp. You got a guy on the mound that can't throw strikes. You figure he's going to come in and challenge you to try to get ahead. And Crisp delivers, snapping an over. A big RBI for him. And it's a 2-2 ball game.
Boy, fastball right in the heart of the plate also. Bourjos did a nice job of charging the baseball, but the ball just kept running up the third baseline. Nice slide by Pennington to be able to get the hand on the plate.
No balls and a strike on Reddick.
A real good view here is it had the whole line blocked. But Pennington's able to go around them and be able to get the hand on the plate to be able to slide in and tie the game.
Third RBI of the season for Crisp. First and second. Even better speed on the bases now. Deal 1 to Reddick. Outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. David Carpenter now begins to loosen in the Angels' pen. So a strikeout, back-to-back walks on the single by Kevin Jepson. Reddick, a big swing and a miss. It's 1-2.
Well, like we were talking about last night after the game, because there's extra pitches thrown by LaTroy Hawkins in that last inning of work. Forced his pitch count up, made him unavailable in this normal role here in the 8th inning as a setup guy for Jordan Walden.
And Dan Haren still looking for that first victory. This one hit down into the corner, and that's going to go for extra bases. One hops into the wall or over the wall, and Oakland is back on top 3-2. Crisp has to head back to third base.
Boy, a cut fastball that stayed hard of the plate. Reddick with his third base hit.
That's going to be it for Kevin Jepson as he melts down here in the 8th inning, much like he did in Minnesota. He'll depart, and Oakland with a 3-2 lead. defending champion Brad Keselowski leads the world's best drivers in a chase for the checkered flag. Fox Sports is proud to bring you exclusive coverage of the STP 400 live from the Kansas Speedway Sunday, 12:30 p.m. Eastern, 9:30 a.m. Pacific. Still at the top of the 8th inning, 2 runs in for the Athletics. They've got themselves a lead once again. They're up 3-2. 2 of the runs here in the 8th. Charge to Kevin Jepson. He departs with property on the bases, 2nd and 3rd. And, a tough chore here for the rookie right-hander, David Carpenter, who'll come on to face Yoenis Cespedes.
Yeah, Carpenter with the infield in. He's a guy with that good sinking action on his fastball. Very good as far as getting the ground ball. Now it just has to get him that ground ball at an infielder.
Halos will play the infield in. Cespedes will step up 1 for 3. Had a base hit in the 7th. He's also struck out and rolled into a double play. Crisp standing at 3rd. Reddick at 2nd base. Outfield back at normal depth. Carpenter's first pitch is a slider that is just low. 1 ball, no strikes. Carpenter did pitch in Sunday's game. Went 2 innings against the Yankees. Allowed 2 runs. One of which was on the home run off the bat of Raul Ibanez. Swing and a miss on the breaking ball. 1 ball, 1 strike.
It's a good sweeping slider, also good sinker. 87 to 90 range with that fastball.
One pitch. Big slider outside.
With an open base, you don't have to be fine with the pitch anyhow. You try to expand the strike zone. A good RBI hitter has a tendency to be over aggressive.
Fastball missing low. It's 3 balls and 1 strike. Seth Smith on deck. Carpenter pitching in his 3rd big league game, 3 innings under his belt. And the 3-1. Breaking ball, line to left field. That will bring home 2. Cespedes will stop at first. It is a 5-2 game. All 4 of those runs charged to Kevin Jepson. A hanging breaking ball on a 3-1 count.
Again, sometimes as a pitcher with an aggressive RBI type hitter, you want to throw some pitches out of the strike zone. You have some wiggle room because you have an open base at first base. You still set up a double play ball, but that breaking pitch got a lot of the plate, and Cespedes was able to hit it in the left field. We showed so far he does have a quick bat when you make a mistake against him.
He picks up his 8th and 9th runs batted into the season. He's on board for Smith, still only 1 out. Remember, this inning started when Kevin Jepson struck out Josh Donaldson, painting a fastball on the outside corner. Then the wheels came off for Kevin. Back-to-back walks to Pennington and Jemile Weeks. Base hit on the very first pitch to Coco Crisp, tied the game up. Then the RBI double to Josh Reddick, and Jepson's night was done. Truth be told, if Kevin's going to be a part of this bullpen, he better right that ship very quickly. Otherwise, those innings will dwindle.
You know, if you're Kevin Jepson, you just have to trust your stuff. I mean, the fastball he threw by Donaldson was at 98 miles an hour. Just trust it. Don't try to be too fine. Get ahead of the count and trust location.
Carpenter misses high, and it's 1 ball, no strike. Seth Smith serving as a DH tonight for Bob Melvin. 0 for 3. A couple of fly ball outs and a ground down. Halos down by 3 here in the 8th. Cespedes takes off. The pitch is a strike. The throw down is not in time. He had a huge jump. Second stolen base for Cespedes. Puts himself in the scoring position.
He does a nice job as far as reading a pitcher. Get a good jump. Looking back. Real good jump. No chance for Iannetta to throw him out.
Snap the belt.
That quick.
He is a powerful man. This game has come to a screeching halt here in the 8th inning. New brake pads will be needed. One ball, one strike on Smith. Still one out. 4 runs in for the Athletics. That one just missed down low. 2 balls and 1 strike. Dan Hare, 6 2/3, 5 hits, no runs. Scott Downs, 1 batter, 1/3 of an inning, 1 strikeout. That was to finish off the 7th inning. Kevin Jepson, 1/3 of an inning, 4 runs, 2 hits, 2 walks, and a K. 2-1 pitch, bounce foul. Good sinking action from Carpenter. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, just looking back at some of the scores, the 7th and 8th innings have been a problem so far for the Angels as far as just trying to shut down the opponent in those innings. Again, as the season progresses, Mike Scioscia will give the starters an opportunity to go deeper into games as they start building that arm strength.
You also go back to, as you pointed out already, the 9th inning last night, or the top of the 9th inning with LaTroy Hawkins, who had to throw so many pitches because of the 2 errors, one by Kendrick, one by Eric Ibarm, extended at bats, the walk to Sogard. I mean, there's a lot of things that factor into last night that obviously have a carryover effect into tonight. We're not sure whether or not LaTroy is available. We weren't given that information, but we assume that he's not available after throwing so many pitches. So it limits, it shortens that pen up a little bit, and it puts the onus on Kevin Jepson to come out here and throw strikes and keep the lead. Pujols going deep to his right, bobbles it for a second. The throw is in time. They do get Smith for the second out.
William Pujols and Kendrick are going to talk to each other right now, because that's a play where Albert eventually will have trust in Howie Kendrick to be able to cover that part of the infield. So that makes it a difficult throw for Albert Pujols to throw to the pitcher. So he had the backhand, but Howie's right in position. Much easier play. Carpenter did a nice job of not only fielding that, but turning around to make sure that Cespedes is not trying to go all the way to home on that throw over to first base. Something you do in spring training. Some pitchers don't even pay attention. As a base stealer or base runner, you can try to score on that play.
Kurt Suzuki takes that pitch downstairs. 8th man to bat here in the 8th inning. Suzuki 1 for 3, had a bunt single in the 7th inning. (1-0). This one lifted in the air. Shallow center. Howie Kendrick with the call. He's out there. The inning comes to an end. 4 runs in for Oakland. We hit to the bottom of the 8th. The A's leading at 5-2, and the Angels with Kendrick, Pujols, and Morales coming up. inning, the Halos down 5-2. They will face a new pitcher on the mound here in the 8th inning. Ryan Cook takes over for Brian Fuentes, and he'll be facing 2, 3, and 4.
Good power fastball from Cook. 92 to 97. Also throw a slider and a changeup. Cook this season very good, 4 1/3 hitless innings.
Just 24 years of age, native of Clovis, California. Was in Diamondbacks organization and was part of that big deal with the Diamondbacks back in December. Trevor Cahill and others. He did get to the big leagues last year, pitched in 12 games, 0-1 record, a 7.04 ERA. The good numbers down in the minor leagues. 27th round pick back in 2008 out of the University of Southern California. Take a look at our in-game box score. The Halos with 8 hits tonight. Kendrys Morales and Torrey Hunter, as well as Alberto Callaspo with multi-hit games.
Well, Torrey with some good swings again tonight. Followed it up. Same thing with Kendrys Morales. Back-to-back games.
First pitch a little bit high, and it's 1 ball, no strikes. Howie 0 for 3, a couple of ground outs and a fly ball to right field. A little hitch in that delivery from Cook. Making his 5th appearance, 4 1/3 innings, 1 strikeout, 2 walks. Swing and a miss on that slider off the plate.
Well, it's a pretty tight slider. Especially as a hitter, never seen him before. Very difficult pitch to be able to make contact with.
Doesn't waste a whole lot of time in the 1-2 pitch. Slider way outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ryan Fuentes, by the way, went 1 inning. Gave up a hit, struck out 2. He is the pitcher of record for the Athletics right now. Fouled back. Count remains at 2-2.
Well, good action even on that fastball too. Mid-90s.
Two on its way. Ground ball to third. Donaldson has it. Across the diamond. High throw. Kendrick is on board. Error by Josh Donaldson, his 2nd of the season. The Angels get their leadoff man on.
Just didn't really look comfortable fielding the baseball. Almost threw a palm ball over to first base. Down underneath his throw, a break for the Angels. Put through Howie a changeup. And caught on the heel of the glove, and then transfer out the glove to the throwing hand. Not quite there for him. Real close play at first base.
Here's Albert Pujols, a 1 for 3 games, single in the 4th inning. Fastball down and away, a 1 ball, no strikes. Kendrys Morales on deck. Torrey Hunter to follow if we get that far. Short lead for Kendrick at first. Pujols looks at a strike. 1-1. One pitch outside, 2 balls and 1 strike.
Well, you got to believe Albert Pujols is going to get a fastball here.
Two 2-1 pitch. Slider to dirt. Boy, what a dig by Suzuki. 3 balls and 1 strike.
The reason why I said probably getting a fastball, even though he didn't, he got a slider off the plate. He doesn't look like he has control of the slider. And Albert is too patient of a hitter, is not going to chase that pitch. Worst case scenario, if Albert hits it out, you're still up by 1. But if you walk him here, well, you're looking for some trouble.
Pujols skies one out to shallow left. Just got underneath it. Pennington, the shortstop, is there. One out. So Morales will step to the plate with Kendrick still standing at first. Kendrick today 2 for 3, couple of singles and a ground out. Quick sidearm flip over to first. Quick feet.
Oh, he was leaning too.
Oakland's closer is Grant Balfour. Back up the middle, and that's off the glove. Trickles to Weeks. They try to turn 2, and they do. That's a 1-4-6-3 inning-ending double play. We head to the 9th. Oakland still up 5-2. With a 5-2 lead, David Carpenter back out to trying to keep this a 3-run deficit for the Halos. We want to wish a very happy birthday to Tim Mee, the Angels Vice President of Communications, sitting downstairs. An incredible guy, a terrific day for him. Also want to wish my brother a very happy birthday, Mike, bullpen coach for the Detroit Tigers.
He's having some fun with the Tigers, but Tim Mee too. What a great human being.
Bottom third of the order for Oakland here in the 9th inning. Barton, Donaldson, Pennington. Carpenter came on in the 8th inning. 1 out, 2 on. Gave up the 2 RBI single to Cespedes and then got a ground out and a pop-up. Barton swings the first pitch, rolls it foul. It's no balls and a strike. Hayes, first baseman, is 1 for 3. He homered a solo shot with 2 outs in the 5th inning. That was off Herron. At that point, it put Oakland up 1-0. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. If you're getting a look at David Carpenter for the first time, he's a Texas native. Grew up in Grand Prairie, went to South Grand Prairie High School and at Paris Junior College in Texas. A 9th round pick in 2009. He delivers a strike, and it's 1-2. Great numbers last year in the minor leagues. Inland Empire, 25 games, a .93 ERA. In Double-A Arkansas, 19 games. Did not allow a run in 18 and 2/3 innings. 1-2, little cue shot up the third base line. Callaspo has to charge it, gets rid of it quickly. Barton is retired for the first out.
see why Carpenter can be so effective with that sinker down and away.
Number 20, third baseman, Josh Donaldson.
It's played by Callaspo coming in on that slow roller.
Josh Donaldson 0 for 3. Struck out looking in the 8th. That was the first batter that Jepson faced as he fouls this one off his foot. And it's no balls and 1 strike. Balfour is loosening for Oakland in the bullpen. Count even at 1 ball, 1 strike. The Halos in the bottom of the 9th inning have Hunter, Wells, and Callaspo to start off that 9th inning. This one's fouled back, 1 and 2.
You also have Mark Trumbo on the bench available to pinch hit.
Swing and a miss on a slider. Down goes Donaldson, 2 down.
Well, nice job of throwing that 2-seam fastball inside, then backing up with a good slider on the outside part of the plate.
That throws that glove at you a little bit.
Good deception. Hides the baseball well. Movement in, slider away.
Pennington drew the walk that started the rally for Oakland in the 8th inning as Carpenter delivered the strike. Eventually came around to score one of the 4 runs. Oh, 1 pitch. Breaking ball. Caught the inside corner. Delayed call by Runge. And it is 0-2. Down low, 1 ball, 2 strikes. One, 2, ground ball to second base. Howie's got the skimmer. It's a 1-2-3 inning. We head to the 9th. The Halos down by 3. Hunter, Wells, and Callaspo to face Grant Balfour when we return. By 3-5 to Oakland, bottom of the ninth inning. They will face Grant Balfour in the ninth. Let's take a look at the pitching probables for tomorrow and Thursday. Remember, this is a 4-game series. Bartolo Colon going for Oakland tomorrow. Irvin Santana looking for his first win for the Angels. And then on Thursday, pretty good matchup.
Yeah, Malone is a guy that's not going to overpower. He throws a lot of strikes, changes speeds very effectively. C.J. Wilson's been outstanding so far. 2-0 with an ERA 1.38. Look for Irvin to get back to that dominating fastball, slider, and changeup.
Mentioned Balfour in the game. He's the closer for Oakland. 2 saves. Has not allowed a run so far this season. He has pitched in 6 games already. 7 innings, 2 hits, 5 strikeouts, and 2 walks. Opponents hitting 0-91 against him. And Torrey Hunter will lead things off.
Definitely a guy that likes his fastball, 90 to 96 range, curveball, slider, changeup. Majority of his pitches, though, the fastball.
34-year-old right-hander, native of Sydney, Australia, makes his home in Clearwater, Florida. Has been in the big leagues with the Minnesota Twins, the Milwaukee Brewers for a short stint, Tampa Bay Rays, and now in his 2nd season with the Oakland A's. Never really held a position of full-time closer. Did pick up 2 saves last year. A couple of 4-save seasons with Tampa Bay. But he is the guy for Bob Melvin trying to even the series up at a game apiece. Ryan Fuentes, the pitcher of record for Oakland. Kevin Jepson for the Angels. Hunter looks at a fastball for a strike. Torrey 2 for 3. Couple of singles and a strikeout. He's also picked up an RBI, his 4th of the year. One ball, 1 strike. Balfour, high intensity, max effort guy.
Like I said, he likes to challenge hitters with his fastball. Well, over 80% of all his pitches are fastballs.
1-1 pitch. Torrey is swinging a miss.
Almost like a cut fastball or a slider there. Not a lot of break to it, but it was elevated enough to get a swing and miss.
Time is called. Torrey backing out. Brian Runge granting time. The 1-2. Hunter, little dribbler towards third base. Donaldson comes charging in. Nice transfer. And Hunter is retired for the first out here in the ninth.
He's shown a strong arm at that third base position. Last inning on a slow roller. Got underneath his throw and threw it high over to Barton, but this time made a good adjustment as far as the transfer. The tough play coming in. A quick throw gets Torrey at first.
Here's Vernon Wells, also has been on base twice at a fielder's choice, a single. To the fly ball to center, 1 for 3 games, also scored a run. Fastball outside. Both teams with 8 hits. Oakland's committed an error. They've left 4 on. The Halos have left 5 on. That's down low. 2 balls and no strikes. A 4-run 8th inning. The undoing for the Angels so far tonight. Kind of the undertone, if you will, through the first week plus of the season. Vernon looks at a strike, and it's 2-1.
Well, especially when you have a lead late in the game, you want to make sure you're throwing a lot of strikes. That wasn't the case there in the 8th inning.
Takes a strike in at the knees. Vernon thought that pitch was down. Evens the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, Suzuki setting up away, but that ball got the lower part of the strike zone. it's not where the catcher sets up, but where it's crossing the plate, and that across the plate around knee level.
Breaking pitch rolls over this one up the third base line and foul. Reset, do it again at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Alberto Callaspo is on deck. Two. Hit high and deep toward left center field. Cespedes giving chase, still going back, pulls up, gone. Good fly for Vernon Wells. Solo job, and the deficit is 2. 5-3 Athletics.
Vernon got down and got that low pitch. Throw that ball out well out to left center field. Fastball. Well, you can tell by the reaction by Kurt Suzuki behind the plate. The glove dropped. He wanted that fastball down on the outer part of the plate, but instead got a little bit too much of the plate and elevated enough to be hit out of the ballpark.
Alberto Callaspo looks at a strike. Home run for Vernon, his 3rd, 5th RBI. Callaspo 2 for 3, 2 singles and a ground out. Fly ball down the right field line, not hit very deep. Reddick coming on toward the line, 2 down. Look like Alberto trying to lift and pull the baseball. Angels needing base runners, 2 down, and that'll bring up Chris Iannetta as the Halos are down to the last out.
And that's the point. You just need a base runner. You want to give the opportunity for Chris Iannetta to be able to one swing tie the game up. Alberto more of a contact hitter, but looked like he tried to hit that out.
Chris Iannetta will look at his strike. He's 0 for 3. 2 ground outs and a strikeout. Mark Trumbo has come out to the on deck circle. He would bat for Peter Borges, should we get that far. Iannetta thought about pulling the trigger. Evens a count of 1 ball, 1 strike. Swing and a miss. Nasty breaking pitch, 1-2. There's the 1-2 pitch. Iannetta shoots one over to right. On the right side of the infield, Barton's got it on 1 hop. The inning comes to an end, and so is this ball game as the A's pick up the victory, tie the series up at a game apiece. 5-3 the final tonight.
One of those games, very close ball game. It got away in the 8th inning with some walks. Credit Oakland, some good at bats. Reddick, Cespedes, a nice job as far as a couple base hits for Oakland, and bullpen came in for the A's and shut down the Angels offense, able to pull this one out 5-3.
Brian Fuentes picks up the win. Kevin Jepson takes the loss, and Grant Balfour picks up the save. The final again, 5-3 Oakland. Stick around as Angels Live with Chris McGee and Jose Motos coming up next, and it's got all the breakdowns and analysis.